Our next weapon is the Japanese katana. The katana is easily one of the most iconic symbols of Eastern martial arts and is characterized by a curved, slender, single-edged 60-centimeter blade, a rounded guard, and a long grip. The katana is also known as a samurai sword due to its traditional use by the samurai class of feudal Japan. The katana originated in Japan during the Muromachi period as early as 1392 as a sleeker, more compact version of the tachi. The tachi was similar in length, but its distinguishing feature from the katana was the excessive curvature of the blade. As close combat and horseback combat became more common, it became more necessary to be able to strike an opponent in one single motion with a sheathed sword. Warriors found this difficult with the curvature of a tachi, so the quicker draw of a katana was better suited for this style of combat where a quick response was key. The katana is manufactured from specialized Japanese steel called tamahagami, which contains a combination of high carbon and low carbon steel. The low carbon steel is tougher and malleable, allowing the sword to absorb impact, while the high carbon steel allows for the keen sharpness of the blade. The sword obtains its signature curvature through a process known as quenching. During this process, the blade is coated with several layers of a wet clay slurry, heated above 800 degrees Celsius, and finally quenched in water. This causes the blade to curve due to reduced lattice strain along the spine. The katana is a sacred symbol to Japanese and samurai culture and is seen as a symbol of social power and personal honor, and a samurai is never to depart from his katana. Having the length of blade that it does, the katana is not as light and fast as other smaller weapons. However, the katana is amongst the lightest swords manufactured and was built to strike an opponent with lightning quickness. Although the katana is a very effective weapon, it is not always adaptable to every situation. In very close combat, sometimes a smaller, shorter weapon is more effective. In addition to this, a katana is large in size and not as easy to carry around everywhere. Also, only those in a high social class actually have access to a well-made katana. Once contact is made against an opponent, it will cause serious damage, even death. However, with some level of skill, the katana is not too difficult to defend against, even with another sword or wooden stick. Also, because the katana may only be used in close combat, this weapon is highly ineffective if your opponent is a distance away. This weapon receives a lower score in this area for the reason that the proper use of a katana requires much skill and training. Many martial artists practice and train with a katana for years before feeling properly ready for use in battle. Katanas are made to be extremely durable throughout battle and last for a very long time. The effective thing about fighting with a katana is that once in possession of one, a fighter may strike continuously over and over again indefinitely.
Next on our list is the Chakram. The Chakram is a throwing weapon which originated in India and is in the shape of a flat metal hoop with a sharp outer edge ranging from 5 to 12 inches in diameter. These chakrams are traditionally worn on the fighter's arms, around the neck, and even on high turbans. Chakram are traditionally made from steel or brass, which is beaten into a circular shape against an anvil with an indentation for the curvature. The two ends are then connected with a piece of brass and then heated, forming a complete circle before the brass is removed. The chakram does not make a sound when thrown, adding an element of stealth and surprise. There are several throwing techniques used for the chakram depending on the combat situation.
One method is to throw this way, cross the lines, throw that way. Second method is cross that way. Again, this way, look the footwork. That's the key thing here. Yeah. Three together, do it, and you whip around. So you're really using the whole body to be the most powerful one. Oh, and even when they're jostling you about, look at that, he's like a human gyroscope. It's fantastic, it's really stable. And I'm engaged fighting with these people, and you're throwing at my melons, and it's very, very intimidating. You take them off, you flare them around like a bunch of cards. Quick, quick here, there, quick, there, quick, there, quick, there, quick.
While the chakram is an Indian weapon, it is also seen in East Asian martial art films as Shinobi, Heart Under Blade, and even Western films such as Tron Legacy. Having the circular aerodynamic shape that it does, this weapon can fly at extremely fast speeds. Due to its smaller compact size and ability to be carried around with ease, this weapon is easily adaptable in almost any situation and may even be used in close combat. Once a chakram is in flight, it is very difficult to defend against. The only way to defend against it is to be protected behind another large object, such as a shield. Unless you're extremely quick, it would be very difficult to run away from it if thrown at. If it comes in contact with an opponent, it will cause serious damage and even possible decapitation. The very neat feature of this weapon is its ease of use. The popular Sarshani technique does take a lot of practice and skill though. However, the most common way of tossing this weapon is similar to how a Thursby is thrown, which is a very common skill almost anybody could perform in battle. Although this weapon may be quite potent in causing injury, it should be noted that in terms of reusability, this weapon is lacking. In the movie Shinobi, the weapon demonstrated boomerang-like qualities. However, in reality, this would not be so, and once this weapon is tossed at, it may not be reused unless retrieved from the far distance it is thrown. This may possibly leave the attacker defenseless depending on how many other of these weapons he is carrying with him. However, this weapon may also be used up close and not thrown, but simply used to slash with while holding. These weapons are built to be very durable and strong as well.